Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. If this is your first time visiting me, I would like to thank you. While you're here, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. By taking this action, you will be helping the channel to grow. Also, take a moment to read my About page so that you can have some understanding about who I am. I will never copy another person's work, nor will I ever copy another person's title. That is because I am authentically me. This work is a part of my bloodline. I thank you for visiting, and I hope that you will return. Please check out my other videos. All are welcome to share his or her story in the comment section below, because your story may be a helpmate to someone else. My channel is a no judgment zone place for healing in some sort of way. If my videos do not resonate with you, please do not try to make them fit your circumstances at all. For anyone else and everyone else that the message does make sense to, take from it what will help you on your journey towards your happiness in every area of your life. Once again, I am Empress Real 1584, the Good Witch. I'm doing a collaborative, meaning Cancers, Scorpio, Pisces, water signs, all in one reading. You know, I told you I was going to be switching a few things up here. So the last time you saw me, I did a Cancer reading. And that was a long reading, and I don't want to ever do a reading like that again. Let me tell you, it was long, but it was worth it. Any videos that I do here, I post them on my YouTube platform so that you can see them in its entirety. If the reading is for a male specifically, I will say so. If the reading is for a female specifically, I will say so. But if I say nothing, understand that we all have both masculine and also feminine energies. Plain and simple. Those of you who have been a part of this journey with me doing these readings, you know that I always point the camera on the desk. It's imperative that I do so that you will be able to watch me shuffle the cards, watch me cut the cards, and you'll also be able to see the cards come out. For anybody that's up here, you don't need to send me an inbox letting me know that you are religious and that your God, regardless of who you believe in, is going to get me. If you have that type of God, you need to follow somebody else. We all have free will to believe in whatever we like. I never knock anyone's religious beliefs, nor do I knock anyone's spiritual beliefs, because just because a person is spiritual, it doesn't mean that you are on the same wavelength. We're all different, and that's the beauty of us. This is a water signs reading. I hope everyone is doing well. I sincerely do. The last time I was here, we spoke about the moon phases because we're coming into a full moon on the 5th. On the 5th, a lot of you guys are going to start scrambling. You're going to try to do moon magic, and you're going to wonder why it's not working for you in its entirety. If you view the Cancer reading, I explained that to you of what you needed to do to get yourself prepared to use the magic of the full moon's energy. You know, tonight's moon is a waxing gibbous moon. It's between like 94 to 95% of the surface being illuminated by the sun. So if you go outside tonight, no matter where you live, you'll be able to see that moon and how it's illuminated and how bright and beautiful she is. You know, many people will think that the moon is full tonight, but we all understand the reality of perception. Most people don't usually see things as they are. However, many people see things as they are. Lee Atwater, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Lee Atwater stated that perception is reality. William James stated thoughts become perception. Perception becomes reality. Simply alter your thoughts, alter your reality. This is a time of momentum. This is a time of preparation and refinement as the moon nears her full powerful state. Remember, in the Cancer zodiac reading that I did a few days ago, we discussed fine-tuning our goals and making adjustments to our plans to make sure that they are aligned with our desires before the full moon culmination. On the 5th of November, a lot of people scramble and they try to do moon magic. Some people are successful, but if you don't do the work, the preparation before your rituals, you're not going to be 100% successful. That's why we're going through the phases of the moon cycle before we get to the full moon's energy, letting you know that you still have time to fine-tune things before that energy is released in its entirety. Meditation, you should be doing that. Visualization, you should be doing that. Journaling, you should be doing that. Using your crystal work, using your crystal magic, you should be doing that. And your affirmations, you should be speaking life into yourself, speaking life into your affirmations, making your affirmations become a reality. A lot of people think that they have to go look up affirmations, purchase affirmations from other people, which that's the wrong thing to do. There's a lot of people that will make you believe that their affirmations are the right one and that this affirmation is going to get you into the pearly gates of heaven. I'm just joking, because that's what a lot of preachers tell you, that they have the magic wand to help you enter into those pearly gates. And we all know that not to be true. You can only get yourself in. But if you dived a little deeper, you will understand that there's no such thing as heaven and there's no such thing as hell. But that's for a different time. It's about realms. The Bible speaks of it for those of you who are religious people. The Bible says, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. If it wasn't so, I would not have said it. What that actually means, the mansions, so many of them are realms, different stages. Once you close your eyes from the body, the soul leaves. And the soul has to go through different phases of realms. That's for another time and another day. You know, before you start your affirmations, before you start your crystal work, before you start your meditations, before you start your journaling, you should try to look at things through a bird's eye view. Imagine this: drawing a house or an office like where you see me sitting right now. Draw your house or an office, how you would imagine it to be. Let's just say if you dreamt about a 3-bedroom house or a 4-bedroom house. You draw little boxes and squares, making your own blueprint. And as you are seeing it, you're creating it on paper because it's in the mind's eye for you to begin the creation of it. So you imagine it, how it's going to be from overhead. It's like you looking at it in a different view. You're looking at it from overhead and you're looking down into that space, whether it be an office, where you want your desk to sit, where do you want your lamp? Are you going to have chairs in there for another person to sit in front of your desk, or your chair only? If you're looking at it from a bird's eye view of a home, how many bedrooms do you see within that home? How many bathrooms do you see? Where do you want your kitchen to be placed? Do you want it in the city, the house, or your office? Do you want it sitting at an intersection? You have to change your view of something in order to appreciate it, to make room for it, and to make it happen. That's called the power of the subconscious mind. That's called journaling. A lot of psychics, a lot of mediums, we journal to bring things to fruition. We journal sometimes even before we do your reading. Anytime that I journal, I never share it with anybody before the reading. I journal as I'm meditating so that I can see a person in advance before I even begin the reading. This is what you should be doing. Focus, visualizing. It's so important to do the work before November 5th, before that full moon's energy. Right now, you're seeing the moon at 94, 95%. But those of you are going to sit back and you're going to think that I don't have to do the work. Let me just say that. Yes, you should always cleanse your space. You should always cleanse your space. Before you journal, you should cleanse your space every day. Anytime that I sit at my desk, I cleanse my space. While I sit down before I turn on this camera, sometimes you guys caught me cleansing my space because I turn on the camera and I forget, hey, you're supposed to cleanse that space. The reason why you cleanse your space before you journal, before you meditate, before you start your crystal work, you should always cleanse your space, because when you meditate, it opens the door to many entities. Some entities are beautiful and some are not. Some are tricksters. Can you call the tricksters bad or good? Trickster spirits are sometimes other entities that come to test. And some tricksters come to test for you to fail. So, with not knowing the energies that you're going to get before you start journaling, before you start meditating, you should always cleanse your space. That gives those entities a heads up when you say, I'm only inviting good spirits, because entities are spirits. Just because you say it, it doesn't mean that a different type of entity won't try to come in. But you have to be strong enough to stand in your convictions, to say that I only accept good entities only. And when you say it, you have to mean it forcefully, because now you're letting the other entities know that I don't play. I'm not playing about me. And you always ask to be shown things that are true. You can cleanse your space in so many different ways. You can use sage. That's when you're meditating. You can use Florida water. You can simply keep a candle burning. Every candle means something different. Every color. You don't have to go and purchase a candle and it has Jesus on there. And it has Mary on there. You don't have to buy candles like that, because the candle is only going to be fed your energy. So when you purchase a candle, you hold it, you speak to it, and you treat it like it's a part of you, because that's the energy of the fire. That's a whole different ball game, because there are a lot of people who are into fire magic, and anytime a person is diving into spirituality, you should always practice your craft of elements. Months ago, I showed everyone how to feel energy. And those of you that did it sincerely sent me messages, and you were like, oh shit, I didn't know that we can touch energy. We should all connect to all the elements. Speaking to fire, it'll speak back. It'll talk to you. You can ask the fire, show me your yes, show me your no, show me your maybe, and it will do so. A lot of people, like in my family, we call it dancing with fire, because fire moves. But when it moves, you should be able to read it by connecting your energy to it. My daughter, she's up here right now. She is Alberta Butterfly, and she does a lot of fire magic. Journaling is more of her thing for reading. Just about a week or two ago, I did a reading on a young lady. And, I'm not going to call her out because she's up here, but I did a reading for a young lady, and I had read for her before. But when she booked with me, she booked with a different name. So my husband is like, go get prepared for your reading. I'm in the living room, I'm watching television, and I said, okay, you're right. I come in, I sit at my desk, and I kept getting a visualization of this girl who I did a reading for. Thank you so much for the rose. And I'm like, why is this girl here? I'm trying to push her energy out of my space. And excuse me, I'm over here eating Halloween candy, right? So I'm trying to push her energy out of my space. And I'm doing everything, and I'm focusing on this name that the reading was booked under. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it my daughter's way. Let me try to do something different. So I pulled out my journal, got my pen, and I started meditating over my candle. This means I'm speaking on the truth. That's me speaking on the truth. So it's actually brighter, but you wouldn't know. But my candle is brighter. It means I'm speaking on the truth. Anyway, I'm touching her name. I wrote her name down, and I get a phone call. And I said, she said, hello? I said, bitch, it's you? She said, yes, I booked the name under my government name. I was like, oh my God. And I usually don't share what I write. So I said, I'm about to take a picture and send you what I wrote. And I sent it to her, and she was like, oh my God. I said, listen, this is what I got. And she said, I didn't ask you for all that. I said, I could only give you what Spirit gives to me. She was like, Spirit is going too far. I didn't want to detail that much information. So it's important to cleanse your space with whatever you do. Before these readings, we don't know each other. I don't know you. You don't know me. And guess what? You may not like my energy in real life. I may not like you in real life. Thank you so much, Tia. Thank you, Tia. Tia, I rock with those letter T's. I'm a T. My daughters are T's. My grandson is a T. We the T family. My son is a T. So, Tia, listen, no disrespect to anyone, but that letter T is a strong letter. But she was like, oh my goodness. And I said, yes. Anytime you open the door and you book with someone when they're true, information is fed to them by an entity. Before you meditate, you should always come with the energy, yours, to the powers that be, who protects you, who guards you, who guides you. And even if a person is adopted, it doesn't matter. You come from a bloodline and your ancestor. My aunt just crossed over 2 weeks ago. Now she is my ancestor. She is a crossed over loved one. She is my ancestor now. So you can call on your bloodline to help you, to guide you, protect you during your meditations, during your journaling. Also, call upon your guardian angels. Call upon your archangels, and each archangel, everyone should get to know them because they all play a different role. So you should all, thank you so much for the heart. You should all get to know your guardian angels because each guardian works for us in a specific way depending on what we're asking help with. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you. Thank you for the hearts. But yes, cleanse your space with everything that you do. Even if company comes over, right? Cleanse your space before they come over and when they leave out of your home. Because all company is in good company and you may not want their energy in your home. True story. I had a young lady staying with me. And I went and got her because she was being verbally abused. And I went and I picked her up and her daughter, no blood relation. And I brought them to my home. And she kept saying, I'm going to get a place. So I'm like, okay, did you call the people? Did you fill out the application? She's like, yeah, but she was giving me the runaround, but I knew that she was not telling the truth. So I'm like, you can't live with me. You know? I'm like, you can't live with me, but I will help you to build any way I can. Groceries, furniture. I told her, you don't have to buy brand new furniture. Let me tell you. See my desk? I did this desk myself. I went and got it from a flea market. I sanded it down and I restored it in the way that I wanted to. I restore everything. I'm a hands-on type of person. So the young lady kept giving me the runaround. So I said, listen, you can't live with me. But I wanted you to see yourself. And she was like, no, I feel bad that I even had to come here. So every day I'm listening to her talk. And every day I knew she was telling me a lie. So I went in the room and I put some of my stuff down. And let me tell you, it worked in the day because she was out the next. Let me tell you. But she went back to her abuser. And this guy dogs her out. Thank you so much. Thank you. Favorite color is black. This guy dogs her out in every which way. And when I went to get her, her boyfriend was angry. And her boyfriend thought I was going to come over and be on his side. And I should not have gotten myself involved because she ended up going back to her abuser, which is my son. And I told her, you can do better. Listen, I have 3 sons. They may look good, but only one is worth running after him. The other 2, you need to run away. My middle son is a mama's boy, 35. But guess what? Not this mama. He wants to make himself believe that he's a mama's boy. But he's not. And my oldest son, he does whatever he wants to do. And that's that. He does whatever he wants to do. But the young lady went back. She's 30 plus years old. And if that's what she wants, there's nothing that I could do for her. But she couldn't live with me. And even though she couldn't live with me, I stepped in a way that I should have not have. I should not have. You know? But if you're not ready to leave, you should never get anybody involved, I promise you. When you're ready to leave, I'm telling you, you'll have soldiers around you. You'll have soldiers around you. But let's get to this Pisces, this Cancer, this Scorpio reading. This is something new for me. I haven't ever put these 3 together, but we're putting them together tonight. You know, these are my cousins. I'm a Cancer. I have Scorpio in my family. I have Pisces in my family. These are my cousins. These are water signs. So Cancer, as we all know, is a water element. Their modality is cardinal. And their planetary ruler is the moon. This is why I'm telling you to hone in with connecting to the moon, because she's going to be so bright. You think she's bright tonight. You thought she was bright last night. On the 5th, she's going to be in full bloom, ready to gift to so many of us. A lot of Cancers, their favorite color is silver, some like gold, but Cancers love bright and shiny things. A lot of people believe that the Cancer's gemstone is the pearl, which is true because of its luminous effects in a genuine pearl, but also the moonstone. Also, the ruby. Cancers, they love home. Cancers are homebodies, some of them. A lot of people love, and I say this all the time, they love to say that Cancers are emotional, but I beg to differ. Cancers have very powerful emotions, and a lot of them are very intuitive. A lot of Cancers are empaths, such as Pisces, such as Scorpio. They are empaths. That means that they can feel a person's energy just by a conversation on the phone, with them walking into the room. Their body knows, their soul knows the energy of the room. Even before you try to tell one a lie, they know in advance. So Please don't play yourself out if you think that you're going to manipulate a Cancer, a Pisces, or a Scorpio. You know, Cancers are very defensive. That means they are about whatever you are about. Whatever energy you bring to them is the same type of energy they're going to give to you. It's reciprocated. So if you think you're going to be doing a lot of yelling and screaming, don't get mad when a Cancer takes their little claws, their pinchers, and they may smack the mess out of you because they're defensive. You got in their space, you called them too many names. Guess what? They're going to defend themselves. You may not like how they defend themselves, but they're going to defend themselves in the best way that they know how to make themselves feel safe. They're very maternal. Cancers are very maternal. They love people. They love their family. They love friends, acquaintances, anyone who hasn't done them wrong. And Cancers, being that they're good-hearted, they're good-hearted. They even love people who have stabbed them in the back once or twice. A lot of people think Cancers are moody. It's not that a Cancer is moody, but they go into their shell for quiet, to remove themselves from the noise of other people and other people's energy. They need time to woosah, relax. So you may think that they're moody, and how is them being moody something that anyone can fix their mouth to say when they're taking some me time? You know, they're taking me time. Scorpios, let's speak about Scorpios. This is also a water element. Their modality is fixed. Cancer's modality is the cardinal. Scorpio's modality is fixed. Their planetary ruler is Pluto. Scorpios, they love dark colors, like dark color reds, dark color grays. They like blacks, anything that's dark in color. So they may love the whole color of the rainbow, but they want that mustard yellow instead of the bright yellow. Like Cancer likes shiny things, Scorpios love dark colored things. Their gemstone is an opal, and it's also the citrine, yellow in color. They're faithful. Scorpios are very faithful. A lot of people may beg to differ. They may say, a Scorpio cheated on me before. But ask yourself this. Did Scorpio ever tell you that she was your girlfriend or that he was your boyfriend? See, we have to be clear on verbiage. A lot of people think that they're in a relationship with a title because some people need titles. And those who say that they don't need a title, how did Scorpio cheat? Listen, this is my cousin. I have to protect them. But they're faithful. So now you have to go back and you have to think about it. Did Scorpio say that they were exclusive to me only? Did we ever have that conversation? Did Scorpio say that they just want to be bad buddies? They want to hook up every now and then? Did Scorpio ever give you a title? Scorpios are faithful. I have to go back to that. They're very strong-willed, and their energy is controlled. They can control their temper to a degree. Or if you ruffle their feathers too much, they can be like Aries and strike. So Scorpio is going to be how they're going to be. It depends on your energy. They know how to match it. Not only do they know how to match it, but it's going to be times 20. You know why? Because Scorpios are very dramatic. So you may think that you're going to have a simple argument with them, but Scorpio is going to elevate it times 20. And you're going to be like, dang, it wasn't even all about that. Scorpio said, yes, it was. You should not have bothered me. Because they're compulsive, very compulsive. So you have to be careful. And they're powerful. We love to all say that we are the Phoenix rising, especially after we climb up out of a sticky situation. We like to use the verbiage that we are the Phoenix rising because we made it out of mucky waters. Scorpios are so powerful that they are the Phoenix rising. The only sign that the Phoenix is actually attached to. They're powerful. Scorpios can heal themselves from the inside out. They can heal their organs just by the power of thought and the power of their tongue to their body. True story. So let's just say if a Scorpio had a health problem, Scorpio can speak life over its vessel, the body, and heal itself. Many of us, it takes us, some people years, some people decades to understand that we all have that type of power. But until you actually believe that you can, it's going to take you a very long time to figure it out, to even understand how to. But Scorpio, they know how to. If Scorpio has a cough coming on, Scorpio can speak life over its vessel and tell that cough to be gone. And then all of a sudden they're healed. And then the person may say, well, you just had the sniffles the other day. You were just coughing. Scorpio was healed because most of them know how to speak to the vessel, the power of the tongue. Listen, Scorpios are jealous people as well. So be careful not to cheat. They're jealous. What I mean by that, they're the one-time love. Meaning, if you cheat, if you're disloyal, they're out. No ifs, no ands, no buts or suppose, they're out. And they're very suspicious. If they've forgiven you because you told them a lie and they caught you in it, if they forgave you, they're always going to be suspicious over you. Very suspicious. So be careful with that as well. Pisces, my other cousins. Another water element. Their modality is mutable. So we have Cancers, that's cardinal. We have Scorpio, who's fixed. And now we have Pisces, who is mutable. All cousins, right? Not brothers and sisters, not sisters and sisters, not brothers and brothers. They're cousin. They're all water signs, but they're different. They're ruled by the planet Neptune. And a lot of Pisces love sea colors, such as sea greens. They love purples. They love colors that you will find in the ocean. If you are a person that scuba dives, you will know that the colors in the ocean under are very intense. So a lot of Pisces colors mimic the ocean. Their favorite day of the week for some is Thursday, because they're like, okay, one more day till Friday and then the weekend is mine. And, you know, Pisces are very empathetic. they do care a lot about people, and they're empathetic to a person's needs, always trying to help to resolve a problem for someone. They're romantic. They love to romance a person, wine and dine. And even if they don't have the funds to wine and dine, they're going to make you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, cut it in a triangle, take the edges off for you, give you a nice cup of milk, and they're going to sit there and make you feel like that's a steak or a lobster. They are very romantic in that way. They're secretive. And a lot of people mistake a Pisces being secretive as them hiding something. They have to be able to trust you, to be able to share what they're feeling, what's going on in their lives. So it's not that they're hiding something. It's none of your business until you have earned their trust. They are an escapist. Many of you say, Pisces, they run from relationships. They're on to the next. You may think that a Pisces is on to the next, but they don't want drama. They don't want problems. And if you continuously try to bring them that, they are the greatest escape artists. They are out. They are done. Yes, they're hiding until you can get over them, or Pisces may just pick up and move away from you. But they are an escapist because they don't want your drama. And that's the truth. This is a Cancer. This is a Pisces. This is a Scorpio reading. We're doing it all in one, inclusive today. I wanted to do something different, so that's what we're doing. Most of you know that I always start off with my spiritual news deck. I'm not even doing that today. We're going to start off with this deck. I've already shuffled, but I'm going to shuffle again. I've cleansed the cards. The cards that I'm going to be using, I have already cleansed them. I hope everyone is getting themselves prepared for the full moon on November the 5th. If you want to use the full energy of the moon, you should start using your magic now. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Show me everything I need to see. Tell me everything I need to hear. Thank you. If this reading is for you, it will be for you from the beginning of the reading until the end, I promise. If the reading is for you, I wouldn't listen to anything that is not for me. It's not going to hurt my feelings if you click off, I promise you. Listen, it's like a song on the radio. If you hear it and you be like, ugh, I don't like that, what do? You switch the channel. TikTok is beautiful. You take your finger and you swipe up or you swipe down. On this platform, if the reading is for you, I promise it will be for you from the beginning of the reading until the end. You don't need to confuse yourself to take a piece from here and a piece from there to try to make it fit your circumstances at all. That's not what happens here. I promise you that. That's not what happens here. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for the sound. So what I'm getting is we're going to get someone. I'm saying we, right? But there's someone that's going to, by the end of this reading, during this reading, you're going to hear a very intense sound in your ear, a ringing of the ear. and it is going to be the left ear. You're going to hear a very high pitch sound. So just pay attention if that's you. Anytime during this reading, but by the end of the reading, there's going to be someone here that's going to hear a very high pitch sound in their left ear, the ringing of the ear. So that means this message is going to be for that person. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can for whomever needs to hear it. Show me everything I need to see. Tell me everything I need to hear. Thank you. I always ring this bell. Ooh, that bell went in a circle. That's not always the best thing, but we're going to see how this goes. Not always the best. Spirit guys, one card from this deck. Thank you so much. We have skeleton. Ooh, it's 3 cards. Excuse me. They're stuck together. We have 3 cards. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. We have skeleton, which simply means strength. Look at the skeleton. Without our skeleton, how would our body stand up? The skeleton is the strength of who we are. So if you break something, if you fracture something, you've disrupted something. Spirit wants you to act like your skeleton and stand in your strength at this present time. Look, in this skeleton's head, there's a hole. There's a hole in this skeleton's head. That simply means that we can repair ourselves. Whatever you have gone through, whatever you have been through, it can be repaired. Now you're like, well, that's the skeletal, that's the bone. Yeah, it takes time to heal, to mend, to strengthen. The bone does grow back as long as you nurture it. Nurture yourself. We have Lady de los Muertos, and I know I'm not giving her the right pronunciation, but this is acceptance and equality. I was in Sam's the other day, and I said, hola, to this gentleman. And he said, you speak of Spanish? And I said, no, I know how to argue in Spanish, though. And he started laughing. But Lady de los Muertos, right? But acceptance and equality. Plain and simple. That comes from you, Cancers, Pisces, Scorpio. Acceptance of what is, what will be, and what is going to be, and what has already been. Acceptance of the good, the bad, and the ugly. You want fairness, equality. You want something or someone to be on equal ground as you. You want something to be fair. Like Libras want everything to be in alignment. That's what you want. You're calling in equality. You're calling in balance. There's someone here, and you're saying to the moon's energy that I need you to accept the meditations of my soul. The Bible, it says that with the meditations of the heart, with 2 or more, it shall be so. Spiritual people, acceptance. As soon as you accept something to be true, the universe accepts it to be true as well. It's like anytime you're asking for something, you have to first believe that you can have it, then you have to believe that it's already yours. Acceptance. You want to ask for something. And whatever it is that you're asking for, you want the universe or whomever you pray to accept what you're asking for. You want them to accept it and to gift you what you're asking for. But in order for that to happen, you have to believe that you can, that you will, and that it is yours. You know, when I see something, I'll explain it in the best way that I know how. And I always use myself as an example. I went to my aunt's funeral about almost 2 weeks ago. And I hadn't seen my sister since my mother's funeral, and that's a few years now. And I was teeter-tottering on going to, thank you so much. I was teeter-tottering about going to the funeral because I am the crab who uses her pinchers. And my husband was like, I think you should go. And I was like, you know, you're right. I'm going to go. The last time I had saw my sister, it was not nice at all. I promise you. Whatever you can think of, it was not nice. And I was not speaking to anyone. My uncle walked over to me and I gave him my hand to shake. And he said, we're not doing that. And I just looked at him and he wanted to hug. And he hugged me tightly. He said, the last time I saw you, you took me to have my surgery. I didn't say a word. Then my sister wanted to hug me. And I did not hug her back. And listen, the same energy that we had is the same energy we're going to keep. For me. The Bible says that I will make your enemy your footstool. And that's what she was, my footstool. She knew that. She walked and got in the car quickly. Someone wants acceptance from a person. There's someone that wants the universe to accept their wish. And you're offering happiness. You're offering to do right by whatever it is that you're asking for. Sometimes when we ask for things and they don't show up, people start saying things like, I'm not going to be praying for a while. I'm going to take a break. Oh, my prayers are never answered. Or the universe never gives to me what I'm asking for. Sometimes the universe will say, I don't want you to go through what you're about to go through. I don't want you to deal with what you're about to deal with. So they stop it. Whatever it is that you're asking for, and they want to see if you're going to change your mind about it. They are going to give you a chance to make a better decision. That's what the universe is going to do. But you're saying, I know what's best for me. This is what I want. This is what I desire. So now that you're doing it with your full energy, the universe is saying, okay, my child. If you want to go through this again, if this is what you desire, I'm going to gift it to you. Now, you can't complain when you get it, and if it doesn't work out, you can't cry, you can't be sad about it, because this is what you've asked for. So, that's why it's so important for you to start doing the work right now. We at 94, 95% of a full moon tonight. November the 5th, you better be sure of whatever it is that you're asking for, because you're asking the universe to accept the meditations of your soul. So you may be saying, I want a new house, I want to win the lottery, I want a new car, or I want my old thing back, meaning an old lover, an ex-lover. But anytime you ask for something, you should do it in detail. And what I mean by detail, there's no information that should be left out by what you're asking for. When I was a kid, I was young. And I promise you, I've never asked for anything that I didn't receive. And I know that there is no such thing as time. But I was taught, when my gifts came to me, I was taught how to use them in a different way. I had a whole team of people that had my back, my great aunts. I was shipped from this person's house to this person's house. This person is teaching me something different than this person. And I was always able to manipulate energy. And I taught you guys months ago how to be able to feel energy. And once you're able to feel it, you can use it. Learn how to transfer it, manipulate it in your space. And I know the word manipulation sounds really poor, but that's not so. Because you can manipulate energy to use it in a beautiful way. When I was a child, I was a teen. I was sitting on my mom's front porch. And there was something or someone that I walked away from. And I was a teenager. And the universe spoke and said, "Are you sure?" I said, "I am sure." They said, "This is what you want." I said, "I am sure." They said, "This is what you want and this is what you will have." So I said, "Stop." And I spoke just like that. I said, "Stop." They said, "When do you want it?" Because although I was saying no, that I didn't want it, the universe knew better, my spiritual team. So I said, "Okay, we're going to wait a few decades." That's what I said. I said, "We're going to wait a few decades." And I put the exact timing on it. And when you ask for whatever it is that you desire, whenever you engage with doing energy work, with using the energies of the moon, you need to be specific. You have to be specific on timing. Because you can say to the universe, "I want $1 million. Okay, they'll give you that $1 million, but you never said how you want it. They can give you $1 million in a course from the time that you ask for it until the time you close your eyes. And then if you add up everything you ever had, and you'll be like, wow, I had $1 million. You have to be specific in how you ask for something. So you may say, "I want $1 million." in its entirety, in full, in one lump sum. So the universe says, okay, but you didn't say when. So you have to always be specific when you're using your magic. And your magic is simply your energy. You have to learn how to manipulate energy. It's important. Yes, you have to be specific. Absolutely. It's important to do. We have winter. The sacredness of pausing. This is winter. Now, there may be someone here that's asking for something, and the universe is saying this winter, as the seasons begin to change, you will have whatever it is that you desire this winter. It's coming in this winter. You will have it this winter. Where I live, some days it's cold, some days it's hot, let me tell you. But this winter, you will have the desires of your soul. But you have to be specific with it, as Yoga Chick just stated, specific. We have the bottom of the deck, which is graveyard, right? Unnecessary fear. Sometimes when we ask for things, we fear having it. And those are things that need to be released. You ask for something, and then you fear getting it. It doesn't make sense. But that's what stops a lot of people from receiving whatever it is that they asked for. It's fear. Am I doing the right thing? Am I worthy enough? What if I do get it? What if I don't? So when you begin to confuse yourself, you're actually confusing the universe, and they're saying, does she or he really want it, or do they not? Are they not ready for it? Because one part of their energy is saying that they're all in and this is exactly what they want. But then the other part of them is saying that they don't believe that they can have it. That's unnecessary fear. Whatever it is that you're asking for, as long as you're not asking for something that's going to hurt another person, it's yours. And you can't attach it to fear, because fear is unnecessary. It's just like when you meditate. And you may start seeing things that make you uncomfortable, because anytime you meditate, especially if you're not meditating on something that's specific, you never know what kind of visions you're going to receive or what kind of voices you may hear. You may get a little nervous. That's why you always cleanse that space. And before you meditate, you always say, show me something good. Only things that are good. Plain and simple. I only want to hear from good entities. You have to be specific, because it does get a little daunting. It does get a little scary. When the young lady, when I saw that she wasn't being serious about getting a place, I'm a root worker, let me tell you. I made some stuff up and I put it in the room. And she was gone the next day. I was like, shucks, that worked fast, right? But I couldn't play. I didn't want to play with her, because you could stay here. You told me you had the finances. You needed to get an apartment, and my door is open. But when you're telling me that you keep putting in, and I know that there's availability, something is going on. So she says to me the next morning, she's like, I heard something, excuse me, my camera froze on my end. She said, I heard something walking around upstairs. So I said, there's nothing on top of you. And she said, well, I heard something. I said, so what did it sound like? She said, like somebody was walking. Then she said a few hours later, she woke up again and she heard banging. And she said, were you in the basement? I said, girl, I was in the bed. Everybody in the house in the bed. See, when you don't do right, the universe will show up and they'll make things uncomfortable. So when I put down whatever I needed to put down to get her out, she got uncomfortable. She started hearing things that were true because I put those things down specifically for her to leave. You can only help a person that wants to be helped. Unnecessary fear, you can't have it in anything that you do. It doesn't belong with asking for something, and especially when you're asking for honesty and truth. Anytime that you use moon magic, it should always be to upgrade you, to help you, to aid you. However, there are other ways that you can use moon magic. If someone has done something to you that was unjust, you can use that magic to return to sender, to send it back to someone who did something to you that was unfair, unkind. Let's get to the reading. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate reading that I possibly can for the sign of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Show me everything I need to see. Tell me everything I need to hear. Thank you. Let's do this one more time. Spirit guys, this is going to be a 9-card spread. Anybody that follows me, you know the number 9 is one of my favorite numbers. One of my favorite numbers. 2 more cards, please. 2 more cards for Cancers, Pisces, and Scorpio. I promise you, you don't want to miss this opportunity of this energy of the moon on the 5th. You don't want to miss it. So start working on it now. You still have time. You still have time. 1 more card. 1 more card. I just heard you could lead them to the water, but you can't make them drink. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. The masculine, male or female. Just because there's a male on the card, we all have masculine and feminine energies. It doesn't mean that it's specifically for a male, or it could be. But we have the masculine. Look at this masculine embracing his feminine side, meaning that this could also be a female embracing her masculine side. You know, this is for someone that's here about a relationship or a relationship that you have been in. You know, when people go through breakups, they're like, I'm never going to date again. I'm not going to get involved again because they fear that they're going to meet the same kind of person, that they're going to go through the same kind of trauma. Examine how you feel about men, specifically for a female. It doesn't have to be. But examine how you feel about dating again. Because when we date, when we get to know someone, it's all energy. I promise you, it's all energy. So if you are in low vibration, feeling like that, like I'm never going to date again. I might get what I just had. I might end up with another toxic person. You're going to attract that. You're going to attract that. But if you're in a high vibration, whatever is going to be, then you're going to get that as well. You know, when I'm married for the second time. When I walked away from my first marriage, I was like, I'm not going to date at all. That's what I said. And then the next thing you know, people from the town that I'm from, which is a very small town, were talking about how I was free. I was single. I was back on the market, right? And I had been married for over 20 plus years. And I had all kinds of people contacting me in my inbox. And I'm like, ilk, right? Ilk. It was people that I even went to high school with. Like, I have a crush on you. And I'm like, ilk. Keep having that crush because this is never going to happen. And I said to my daughter one day, I said, is something wrong with me? I said, I'm getting these duds, right? So then I was really getting annoyed. And I started rejecting them in a harsh way. And then my cousin, my male cousin who's older, he was like, you can't do that. He was like, you have to be careful with how you reject people. And I was like, well, I don't want them to bother me. Like, I never opened the door for anybody to start contacting me, inviting me out or anything. I never said I was ready to mingle. He was like, yeah, but just be careful. So he was right. He was right. He was absolutely correct. I had to take a step back and I just started saying, look, I'm not interested. I don't want to date. I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying life. So when I got into that energy, right? When I got into that energy, guess what happens? My husband calls me. He sends me a message. This is my second husband. He sends me a message and he was like, just checking on you, haven't heard from you, da 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 da. And I was like, forget that, call me. I was like, call me. That was the call that I didn't even know I wanted. That was the text that I never knew I wanted. And here we are, we're married. But I had to change my energy. I had to change my energy. But there's someone here who's in that type of energy. I'm not dating. I don't want to get involved because someone that I meet may be like my ex. And you have to get out of that energy. You have to use that masculine energy, but not in the way that I did because I was very defensive. I was very defensive. So with me being defensive, the universe was like, okay, you want to be like that? And then I just kept getting all these messages from all these people. And I said, ilk. And they was like, I had a crush on you, but you were so mean in high school. And I said, I still am. That's what I would say. I still am. But I had to get out of that energy. And once I got out of that energy, something beautiful came in. So there's someone that there's going to be a male that's going to play a vital role in your situation. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Burdens lifted. There's something that someone has been carrying around and is heavy. It has been heavy. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you. Burdens being lifted. These butterflies are lifting this anchor out of the ocean. Look, water signs. These butterflies are so light. They practically weigh nothing, but they're lifting this heavy anchor out of the water. You're going to succeed, whoever I'm speaking to. Whatever burdens that you were carrying, whatever it was that you were dealing with, is going to dissipate. It's going to free you. You're going to be working with someone that's going to help. Whether it be, thank you for that blue butterfly, whether it be with a friend, just having conversations with someone, just someone being an ear for you. But you're going to start releasing things that you were carrying. You know, it's time to rise up. And that's what this moon is all about. Making sure that whatever it is that you desire, that you're absolutely sure about it, and you have to release everything that you don't want to carry into this next season. So this is someone's burdens being lifted. Timing. Divine timing is at play. I spoke about timing. You have to be specific with whomever you pray to, whether you're religious or a free-spirited individual. You have to be specific with your timing, because when the time is right, it's going to happen. But you have to know that the time is right. You can't fear in order for it to happen. So don't rush the journey, but be specific with whatever it is that you desire. That means don't say to the universe, I'm ready tomorrow. Not unless you're absolutely ready tomorrow. We have the flow of life. And with the flow of life, we have to all grow within the flow. Life is going to constantly be evolving, but we have to go with it and grow with it. So we have to grow within the flow of life, because time stops for no one. Time waits for no one. So whatever is going to come, let it come. The good, the bad, and the ugly. When these men kept hounding my Facebook or sending me messages or wanting to take me out, I didn't realize that whatever was going to come until I got out of the energy that I was in. And then it stopped. It's time to push for the change that you desire. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Whatever the change is that you desire, you have to allow it to come in. So you have to grow within the flow of it. We have the dog spirit. The dog spirit could be a best friend, but the dog spirit is a person that's loyal. You're going to be receiving help from someone, whether it be just with a simple conversation. But this is going to be a person that you can talk to that won't share any of your business with anyone. They're going to be an ear for you. You know, communication and commitment. This person is committed to how you feel and what's going on in your life. They're committed to helping you to get over this hurdle, over this hump, to help you climb this mountain. Listen, you're going to find a new pack. So if you're looking for some honest and true blue friendships, you're going to have that. Because whomever this person is that's going to lend you their ear, guess what? You're going to be able to trust them. There's a lot of people that we think that we can trust, that we can have a conversation with, and you can't. They will be that kind of dog that'll carry a bone and bring a bone. That means that they got some information to tell you, and then whatever you say, whether innocent or not, they'll take it back to whomever gave them that bone to bring to you. But this dog spirit is different. This is going to be someone that's going to be true to you. This is going to be someone new that you can communicate with. This dog spirit is loyal, and they do care about you. We have rejection. So I'm speaking to a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio that was rejected. But, and I know people don't like to hear this, but sometimes when you receive a rejection, it's for you to be redirected. It's for you to go a different way. But a lot of times when we stand in our ego, we don't move forward. We want to make the U-turn and go right back to that same situation, only to deal with the same things. So there's someone that has disappeared on you. There's someone who has rejected you. But you're like, if I had the opportunity to try again, I know it'd be better this time. I know the mistakes that I made. Guess what? You didn't make any. There's someone here, a person rejected you because it was necessary. It wasn't because it was something that you did wrong, although they may have shifted and put all the blame on you. But that's a person that's not willing to see the errors in his or her own ways. I'm speaking to a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio that 1000% was rejected by someone. But guess what? That's okay. Because you're going to be redirected. You're going to receive something better, something amazing, something beautiful. We have a new life. A new life. Now, some of you may say, I only want this new life with my past person. And I get it. I get it. Because sometimes we get comfortable with disrespect. We get comfortable with being yelled at. We get comfortable with being cheated on. We get so comfortable with bullshit. But this new life, the universe is saying, I'm redirecting you. I'm giving you something new. Because there's a new you that's emerging. The universe is saying, I promise that I see the potential in you that you don't see in yourself. So therefore, I want to grant you a whole new life, a whole new way of being if you're ready. Sometimes when we sit and wait, when we sit in the still, when we sit in quiet, we have to trust the incubation period in order for something beautiful to manifest out of what you've just gone through. So the universe is promising someone a new life, a better life, a beautiful life, if you choose to take it. We have conflict because now you're like, okay, I know the universe is saying that I can have this big and beautiful life, but you're conflicted. You're like, I don't want it without the other person. And then the other side of you is like, it is time for me to move on. I was tired of their disrespect. But then the other part of you is like, but I'm afraid that if I meet someone new, they're going to be just like the other person. And that's not true. But it's only true if you actually believe that, because now you are allowing fear to seep in. And when fear seeps in, the energy that you're going to get is the same kind of bullshit and toxicity that you've had. So it's time to make a conflict resolution situation. It's time for you to take this time to reflect before November the 5th and make you the priority. What do I actually want? What do I actually desire? And you need to be selective within your battles. So, do I want to go back to this situation and battle this person all over again? Deal with the same disrespect, their controlling ways, their manipulating ways, their cheating ways, their lying ways? Or do I choose me? Because that's not what I want. I want better. But then people get so conflicted thinking that they can change another individual, and you cannot. People think like, I can make him better, I can make her better. They just have to see me, that I am not like their ex. Here I am, I'm different. And a person only changes when they are ready. So you have to be selective with your battles. Spirit is saying, I grant you this new life for growth, to move ahead. This is you doing something different, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. This is you winning. And how do you win? You win gracefully. You don't look back. In the Bible, what was her name? Sarah? What was her name? Sarah. They said if she turned around, she would turn into a pillar of salt, right? So she's leaving this village that's burning down with her husband, her children. They're going to a whole new land. But oh no, she wants to turn around to wave goodbye. So as she turns around, woof, she's a pillar of salt. She's left right where she waved goodbye at. There's a Cancer, Pisces, or a Scorpio that does not need to turn around. They need to keep going. Because that whole part of the story in the Bible got messier. Now that the mom turned into this pillar of salt, this man leaves with his two daughters, and guess what? They have to build a whole new world. And you know what happened with that story. Traumatizing, right? Spirit is saying if you turn around, you're still going to have the same trauma. If you move forward and learn how to win gracefully, because when you're able to walk away from a toxic situation, you've won. But you win gracefully by removing the fear, trusting that the universe has your back, trusting that you are ready for this new life without whatever this situation was. You don't want to bring it with you. So this is you winning. You can win if you move forward. But if you decide to turn around, you're going to get stuck in that same cycle. We have creative talents. Now we know that Cancers are very creative. Pisces are very creative, just as well as Scorpio. Art lives inside of you. So now that we know that art lives inside of you, see, I'm one of these people, when people hear me sing, I think something is wrong with their ears. Like they want me to be quiet when I sing. But when I sing out loud and I hear myself, I sound wonderful. I don't know if their ears are clogged up or whatever the case may be, but we all have creative talents. Mine is singing. I feel like I can sing, right? But art lives inside of you. And it's time for you to make music within your own soul. And then shout it out and let the world hear the beauty within your voice. Explore your natural creative talents. Explore them because we all have magic. We all are beautiful, but we have to connect to that talent. So it's time to set your mind free, free yourself from what was, and start focusing on what is going to be. At the bottom of the deck, now we done spoke about the universe all night, and we have the universe. At the bottom of the deck, we have the universe. You are in alignment with your power. So is someone here that's doing the work, getting yourself prepared for this full moon energy, whether you're going to use a crystal. If it's been sitting on your shelf, you're going to dust it off, clean it off, and you're going to start holding it, speaking to it, and using that energy of your crystal. If you're not going to use your crystal, if you're going to be journaling, a lot of times when I meditate, I'll have a journal in my hand or in my lap, and I'll have a pen or a pencil, and I'll just let it move for me. Whatever is going to be on that paper, whatever it's going to be, it's going to be. When I open my eyes, I'll figure it out. I'll see the message, whatever. Some of you will be journaling. Others of you, you will be meditating, and you'll be using your mind's eye. You're going to look at everything through a whole new lens. A lot of times when we meditate, either we get on the floor, I sit with my back up against the wall, and I look at everything as it is in front of me. But sometimes you have to change the direction and how you see things. So now you look at it differently as you're on top of the situation, looking down at how you want things to be. So now you're not looking at it this way. You did that so many times. Let's change the direction and be on top of it. Because Spirit is saying, I'm giving you this new life. Now it's time for you to stand on top of it. Know that whatever you're looking at, you can shift it, change it, and bring it to fruition. So if you want a new home, see yourself with it. Don't just see the home. Know what state you want to live in. Know what town you want to live in. Do you want a townhouse? Do you want a mansion? Do you want a condo, an apartment? Whatever the case may be, see yourself. You with your real estate agent, and they're giving you the keys. You're signing your papers for closing a car. Imagine all the features that you wish to have in a car. Do you want head-up display? Do you want surround sound? I'm just saying, do you know what kind of car that you want, the color, the make, the model? See yourself sitting inside of it with that big bow on it, and you having the key driving off the parking lot in it. Your bank account, see yourself at the bank, at the teller, and you're checking your account, making sure all your money is there, and seeing that account with all those extra zeros on the end. You have to bring it to reality, but in order for you to bring it to reality, you have to be able to see it. I did a video, and I told you guys how I got a mortgage with $5 in my bank account. Now, that was decades ago, but it happened. I saw a house online. It was for sale, but I drew this house out. And when I drew this house, I said to my kids, they were little at the time. My kids are adults. They're in their 30s. Help me manifest this home. So my children, they were so young, I drew my own blueprint. And I showed them my floor plan. This is going to be your bedroom. This is going to be your bedroom. This is the kitchen. This is the bathroom. I drew it. And then I'm on the computer one day, and I'm just scrolling, and I see this house. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's the house I drew. So I'm like screaming on the inside. I'm like, oh my God, that's the house I drew. Down to the bone. It was the same house that I drew. I called the realtor. Long story short, I told them I had $5 in my bank account to keep my account open. Back then, that's all you needed to keep your account open. And he said, are you kidding me? I said, by law, don't you have to tell the owners that you received an offer and you have to bring every offer to them? And he said, yes. He said, yes. He said, but ma'am, I don't think that they're going to go for this. I said, okay. And guess what? That was on a Sunday morning. He called me Sunday afternoon. And he said, ma'am, they are willing to take that house off the market. I was like, my goodness. They did. This family didn't know me at all. They took their house off the market, waiting for me to apply for a mortgage, which I had not done. I sent them a post-dated check, meaning that they could cash it when I had the money in the bank account. I sent them $1,000 post-dated check, meaning that if I got approved or not for the mortgage, they could keep the $1,000. That was a win-win because their house was going to be sold no matter what. And I post-dated the check for 2 weeks. And let me tell you, a part of me, when that money hit the account, that 2 weeks later, I wanted to pull it out real quick. But no, I went on through. That would have been me fearing. I got a mortgage. I got approved for a mortgage. I got the house sight unseen. I didn't even live in the state where the house was. And I didn't care. I was like, forget that, I'm going. And I got that house. So it's called the power of the subconscious mind. The Bible says, whatever you think, so it is. You have to be grateful in advance. That means simply thank you. Before you go into your meditation, just say thank you. That's all they want. You have to have a grateful soul. Thank you because you know that their gifts are greater than yours. And you know that it can't be done without them. So you say thank you. And once you say thank you, then you go into your meditation. But whatever you ask for, you must be able to see it in your mind's eye. Like right now, my eyes are closed. And with my eyes being closed, I'm not going to give you all the details, but I could see myself. I'm just saying, in my new vehicle, I know what color I want. I can see it. And I believe it. And it's mine. Same thing. I never asked for anything that I didn't receive. And I stopped my blessings on a few things because I'm always the type of person that thinking that I'm doing what's best for someone else. But I recently learned the greatest lesson. was that you should always check with that person to see if that's what they desire. I always stand in the back and push everybody to the front. But I'm learning not to do that. I'm learning not to do that now. I never asked for anything that I didn't receive, and that's a true story. I'm always grateful for everything. I'm always grateful. I told you guys the story when I was the kid. You know, my family calls upon me when someone is sick. So they want to know if someone is about to pass. If so, when are they going to pass? I swear, it's like I'm the death whisperer. And when I was young, I saw my mom's passing, how old I was going to be. And I saw my father's passing, how old I was going to be and when. And where my dad passed, he didn't even live in that state. So I'm thinking like maybe this vision isn't right because my dad would never live in that state. And with my mom, I asked for more time. So I was gifted that. Then when the time that I asked for, the day I walked into her hospital, I asked for more time again. And my mother had 7 surgeries in 6 days. Unheard of, isn't it? My mother had open heart surgery awake because she had had so many surgeries within 1 week that they said if they put her to sleep again, she would not wake up. So my mother was in a medically induced coma. Even though I was power of attorney, they woke her from her coma. And when they woke her up, she could not speak, but she could nod her head yes and no. And they was like, your daughter wants you to have surgery. Since you've been in this coma, you have had 6. You possibly may not make it. And they was like, do you understand? She shook her head yes. And I'm like, Mom, like, forget what those doctors are saying. Ma, you need to do this surgery. Do you want to go? She shook her head no. Ma, we got this one chance. They said they can't put you to sleep. You have to be awake. They said if you move, you will pass. Do you understand? She said yes. Everybody was around her bed. The doctor, the surgeon, the nurses, the parishioner, the head of the hospital, because they're like, this is unheard of. I was like, do it. My sister, who I haven't seen since my mom passed, she was like, let her go. You're going to put her through this? Just let her go. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, we're doing this. So my sister leaves me at the hospital with my mother. They let me stand outside of the doors where they were doing surgery. They allowed me to stand outside the doors. And I stood there all those hours. I stood there. And then next thing you know, the nurse brought me a chair by the door. And she was like, you want to sit down? I was like, no, I don't want to sit down. I was playing tough. Soon as that nurse left, I sat my fat self down in that chair. I was tired as heck. But let me tell you, they came wheeling my mother out. And she was talking. She said, I had real life surgery. She said, I'm alive. I said, yes, Mommy, you are alive. But I knew the next time I couldn't ask anymore for favor. I couldn't ask for any more. And over a year later, my mom back in the hospital, and as soon as I walked in her room, I said, Ma, you know this is it. She said, yes, I know. I said, that's it. And she was like, I know. I've never asked for something that I didn't get. And it's so easy. All you have to do is manipulate energy. Remove the fear. Remove the fear. Once you remove the fear, say thank you. Be grateful. It's as simple as being grateful, saying thank you in advance before you receive it. But you cannot ask for something that's going to hurt another person unless they have done something to you and you're asking the universe to deal with them in their own way. Then you can. But you better make sure that you didn't do anything to retaliate already. Because if you did, you're going to send that karma to you. But other than that, be grateful, say thank you, and see yourself with whatever it is that you desire, Cancer. Whatever it is that you desire, Pisces. Whatever you desire, Scorpio. New life. We're going to title this New Life. It's up to you. The choice is yours. Thank you so much. Thank you for the new follows. I saw you. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for your time. I know my readings are long, but I try to give you as much as I can. Spirit guides, help me to deliver the most accurate message that I possibly can to end this reading for Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpios. Show me what I need to see. Tell me what I need to hear. Thank you. Spirit guides, how do I end this reading for Cancers, Pisces, Scorpio? This is a lot. But I'm going to take out the first three. I always cut my cards in three, and we're going to leave these two for the top. That would be too many. We would be here all night. From whom can I release my judgment right now? So you're judging someone for something they did to you, but you must release that. Allow them to deal with the things that they need to deal with, however they need to deal with it. You're going on a new journey. You're about to have a whole new life. Move forward and do not turn back. Judgment closes our heart to truth and separates us from love. It binds us to our fear and holds us in shame. On whom are you placing judgment right now? Is it someone in your life? Is it yourself? Release the shackles, drop the expectations, and be grateful for what is. So, release the shackles because there's someone who's holding themselves hostage to a situation that you don't need to be in, that you need to release. So once you release those shackles and drop the expectations, I can change them. They'll do better. We'll work it out this time. Spirit is letting you know that's not so. So once you release those expectations and be grateful for what is, and that's this new beginning, you'll be able to do it in a wonderful way. Today's soul action. Look at the person you are judging as if you are looking at a small child. See them learning and growing, falling down, making mistakes. See their desire to be loved and accepted. Add even more grace to open your heart to this truth. This is what the card wants you to say. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved, I am whole, I am limitless, and so are they. This simply means that whomever this person is, see them as a small child. A child, we can teach them. We'll do anything we can so that they won't get hurt. That's what parents do, real parents. We will do whatever it takes for our children not to be hurt. If they get a scratch, we wish that we would have got that scratch times 10. So you got to see this person that you're leaving behind as a small child. See them growing, learning, making mistakes without you. Because as you move forward, you still wish them well. See them learning and growing without you. But guess what? We're no longer practicing with you. We're not going to practice them disrespecting you over and over and over again, lying to you, manipulating you, cheating on you, whatever the situation was. We just going to see them as a small child because children, we have to train. However, a child is going to do what they want to do. It's like if you're in the kitchen cooking and you say to a kid, don't get near the stove, you may get burnt. Don't stick your finger in the fire, you may get burnt. So there are some children that don't want to get burnt. Now they're afraid of the fire. They're going to not walk near that stove. Then there are some children that's going to be like, let me see what it feels like. Let me see what it feels like. Whomever I'm speaking to, you already know what it feels like. You know what the pain feels like. You know what the shame feels like. You know what the betrayal feels like. So Spirit is saying, see them as the hard-headed child. And as they learn and you wish them well, you grow and you go. When I lift the judgment from myself and others, I uncover my own truth. I am loved. You are loved. Because the universe is promising someone here a whole new life. You are whole. That means you don't need that person. You need you. And you are limitless. That means you got this. You can do this. Release the fear. And they, so are they. Wish them well. And keep it pushing. Am I focused on what I want most? This is the time to focus on what you want the most before November 5th. One reason so few of us achieve what we truly want is that we never direct our focus. We never concentrate on our power. I said that earlier. Most people dabble their way through life, never deciding to master anything in particular. Today's soul action. What you focus on grows. Today, ask yourself, is my life a reflection of my values? Or do I need to make adjustments? And you need to prioritize what those adjustments are. That's what this moon cycle is all about. Right now, it's time for us to focus on the adjustments that we need to make for ourselves. And then once you prioritize what you desire for yourself, on the 5th, you bring it to that full moon energy. You connect your energy with it, and you be ready to receive what belongs to you. Because the universe is promising you this new life. And all you have to do right now in this phase of this moon energy is to start connecting, releasing, so that on the 5th, you're ready for what it is that you truly desire to have for yourself. What are the dominant emotions that run your life? Self-service is your power. That's right. Listen, if you're not whole, you're not good for anyone else. You're not even good for yourself. So you're going to keep going through a cycle of disappointment and pain, and you're going to keep reliving the same situations over again. You know, last night I forgot what I was watching. My husband and I, we were watching something on YouTube, and I watch a lot of detective shows because I like to solve everything quickly, right? Get it out the way. But there was this mother, and she was living with this guy, and it was a toxic situation. Oh, I can't believe I'm repeating this story. So then after that transpired, one of the kids called the police. And when the police got there, they believed the man over the woman, over this mother. And now this guy, he was the father of this lady's son, but he was not the father of her 13-year-old daughter. And she was saying to the police that if you take me, he's going to hurt my daughter. So they're just looking at her like she's drunk, she's crazy. Never even tested her to see if she was drunk. They're just believing this guy, what he was saying. And they arrested the mother. When she got out of jail, her daughter told her that she was raped. And the mother took her to the emergency room. The same police that locked this lady up were the people that showed up at the hospital. True story, true story. And the girl, they did a rape test on her. She was scarred, bruised, everything. And she was talking like, as a matter of fact, she was 13. And she's like, this happened to me before. You have to practice self-love, because when you have no love for yourself, you can't see anything. This mother can't see because she has no love for herself, so she can't even see when her children are in pain. But being that she was incarcerated for that amount of time, she detoxed whatever the case she needed. And they arrested this man. Guess what? He got life. Yes, he did. He got 45 years. 45 years. And my husband and I, we just sat there, and he was like, that little girl's messed up. I was like, she's fucked up. But they didn't give us an update or anything. But mom is not going to continue to take her to counseling, because mom is going to go right back. Self-love. If you don't love self, you can't love your children properly. You can't love anybody properly. Matter of fact, if you don't love yourself, I don't even trust you. And that's a true story. But self-love is so important. What are the dominant emotions that run your life? How do you feel your day? Stress or joy? Trust or anger? Anxiety or peace? We have only today, right now. The journey, no goal, no destination, will bring us the feeling we seek. But when we begin feeling every day with that which we value most, we will attract more of it. This is fulfillment. So what do you want to attract the most? Love for self, love for self, love for self. I promise you, That's what you want to attract the most. After that, love for self, the happiness that comes with it. Because once you start loving yourself, happiness comes in, peace, everything that you can feel that's wonderful is attached to it. Today's soul action. Lean into what you want to feel and adjust your life, your values, and your expectations to match your desires. What do you want to feel? Are you willing to let go of the belief that you have to achieve something to feel it? You know, a lot of people, they say, she doesn't speak a lot. And when she speaks, she only speaks about spirituality. Listen, I'm this vessel, and I want to share as much as I can, as much as I know, because I'm constantly evolving, growing. My husband says I'm so stuck in the ways that I was taught that I should switch some things up a little bit, right? But they always say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I am so stuck when it comes to the way that my families taught me to be and how to navigate the energies that I have of being a medium and a psychic. But a lot of people that I come into contact with, I already know you. So it's not much that we need to discuss. So it's not that I'm quiet. It's just that I just don't fuck with you. I don't like you. Even before you open your mouth, I see you. I know you. And then people, they get upset because you know them, right? You know conversations that are had while people are having them. And people don't understand that that's a part of this life. But people think that you are supposed to be involved. My husband's mother, she said that she's married to the whole family. And my husband said, no, she's not. She's married to me. And I was like, he's right, because people get that misconstrued, thinking that this is a family affair. See, that's what the Bible teaches you, right? But over this way, it's about respect. And I respect myself. So if I respect myself and if I love myself, why would I sit around people who don't even love who they are? It makes no sense. So I keep my presence away from people that don't want growth, that like chaos, that like drama, that like to gossip. I keep myself away from it. And then they'll be like, she thinks she better. Well, damn it, I am. I am better. I am better than the bullshit that you like to put on people. The bullshit that people put on people are lies, untruths, gossip. How could I expect someone to be loyal to me when I've seen you be disloyal to your own? It makes no sense. So if it doesn't make sense, I don't need to be a part of anybody's circus. So we have this thing, my husband and I, we do what we do over here and allow everyone to do what they're doing over there. And a lot of his family watches, and it's still the same thing. Like, I don't involve myself with BS. I hear the conversations. I know what the conversations are about. So if I can hear them, you forget what I do for a living. Why would I smile in your face? I'm not one of those people at all. What can I burn? Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What can you burn? Every damn thing. Burn it all. Burn it. Burn it all. The ugly lies, the pain, the shame, the criticism that you carry. The images that run through your head, the reminders of what you did wrong, and the proof that you're not enough. Burn, baby, burn. Your soul is calling. It's time for a rebirth, this new life that the universe has just offered you. Your soul is calling. It's time for a rebirth. You are like the phoenix rising from the ashes, no longer attached to the past. You are free. Your wings are ready, and it's time for you to use them. That means don't turn back. Move forward. If you didn't see my Cancer reading, brace yourself. I have it posted on my YouTube platform. It was a 2-hour reading. Break it down. Try to listen to it because I give you all the tools to use the energy right now before the 5th, as I did earlier in this reading, but not as detailed as I did in the Cancer reading. But make the choice that you will no longer let the past define you. Pick up your pen. Pick up your pen. What will your next chapter look like? You are the author of your own story. That's right, rebirth. You get to change the sentence, the paragraph. You get to change the whole damn story. Do it with this energy. I promise you, I have never asked for something that I didn't receive from the universe. I'm not one of those people that sit around and ask for something every single day. But since I was a kid to now, I have never asked for something that I didn't get because I did it sincerely. I did it with honesty and I did it with truth. Release the fear and move forward. Am I on the right path? Are you on the right path? Cancers, Pisces, Scorpios. Sometimes we second guess ourselves. What we are doing. We lose trust in the process and question if we are even on the right path at all. Remember, this is fear-based. Know this. You are on the right path. Keep going, keep believing, keep remembering that you made a soul contract that you are currently fulfilling in every area of your life. Even if you can't see it, that doesn't mean it's not real. Today's soul action. Search for all the ways you are aligned with your soul's purpose. The signs will appear. Let this newfound trust fuel your next steps. I often hear people ask, why am I here? Why do I keep going through the things that hurt me? Because, and I know no one likes to hear this, we're soldiers. Not all of us. Some of us are soldiers. And sometimes being a soldier, you have to go through war. War is with family, friends, co-workers. And when we are soldiers in this army, we're supposed to be able to trust the people that we are going to war with to fight against something or someone else. So the people that we're putting our trust in this army, our family, our friends, our co-workers. But guess what? Now you realize everybody is not in alignment. Everybody is not going to be as trusting as you are. Everyone is not going to be as authentic as you are. Everyone is not you. So with that being said, when you stop putting so much into another person and start putting that into you, your life will be so much more rewarding. True story. What is the most limiting belief keeping you from what you want right now? What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to your mind? If you are not living the life you desire, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. So if you don't believe it's possible, you can't get on your knees to pray about it, nor can you sit on your buttocks to meditate. It makes no sense. You can't confuse the universe. It's either you want it or you don't. Because the universe is going to give you what you ask for. That's why you need to be ready. Today's soul action. It's time to upgrade. Look your belief in the eye. Where did it come from? What new belief are you ready to adopt in its place? How will this change your results? Remember, your belief is not the root of your result. Own it, heal it, upgrade it. That means release the fear and believe that you are worthy of everything that you are asking for. This energy, don't waste it. Don't waste it. At the bottom of the deck, what expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? The expectations we have are mostly delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment with ourselves or with a relationship when they are not met. It's time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude, as we spoke about. Be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for our soul, and it is accompanied by trust. It comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control. You can't control the past. You can't change a person and mold them into what you want them to be. You can only fix you. Peace comes when you surrender and focus only on what you can control, and that's you. If you expect nothing